This was never supposed to actually be a commercial brewery here. This was the step before that. So this was the area we were going to set up, do test batches, and sort of get everything in order, and then we were going to find the actual brewery. But this space sort of ended up working out for us, and we decided to search for the license, and now this is a licensed commercial nano brewery. Brewing at university, my brother and I, we had a sort of like a unit in the middle of Brisbane. We lived with a bunch of Australians, and our laundry room was the brewery. So usually on Sundays we would be in the laundry, washing bottles, brewing, or capping bottles, and that sort of thing. So it sort of started basically to save money, as well as sort of a fun hobby. I then met my Norwegian fiance now at university, and when we finished, I was going to come to Europe to travel, and we decided to come back together, and we travelled around a while, and ended up back in Norway where she's from, and I actually borrowed out a drill to a neighbour on a weekend, and he came back. When he gave it back to me, he gave me a bottle of home brew that he'd brewed, and it sort of sparked in my head that I should get back into brewing after all those years when I was at uni. 3-vessel Blickman brewery. These are 1 barrel, 113 litre kettles. I then have a heat exchanger inside the hot liquor tank, and what we do is we run the wort through the heat exchanger, and then back on top of the mash during mashing, and then we're able to hold that temperature constantly over the mashing time, as well as when we want to mash out, we can raise the temperature of the hot liquor tank and basically raise the temperature of the mash through the heat exchanger. We then have the mash time at the false bottom, and then it's an electric brewery with heating elements. So both in the boil kettle and the hot liquor tank we have a heating element, and we basically boil in this vessel. Then we have a reverse strømkjøler for our cooler, and we inject oxygen directly into the wort on the cold side, and then pump it up into the fermenters. So our plan is to have a year-round sort of production, year-round beers, and then one-off beers. So our first all year-round beers is the Epic Venture IPA, and a wheat beer, which will be brewed with local honey, cascara, orange peel, coriander, and then we have one-off beers. So we have a label right now that's sort of got our logo and everything. It's blank, so that we can actually write on the actual label itself, so that we can do a one-off batch. So the idea would be to have a brewery, and then to have the pilot brewery in the bar, so that the pilot batches are being done in the serving environment, so that we could do a pilot batch and serve it directly on premises, and get feedback from people about what they like about it, what they don't like about it, so that we can develop the recipes in the actual bar itself. Well, our IPA, I think, works really well with sort of salty cheeses like a Parmesan, or a local cheese like a Holtefjell XO cheese. Otherwise, it works really well with curries, because it's got a little bit more residual sweetness and fruitiness than other IPAs. I think it really works well with sort of spicy dishes. Like I reckon it'd be really good in Tijuana, New Mexican place. Got some really nice sort of burritos and that sort of thing that the IPA would go really well with. Spicy food, salty cheeses, and that sort of thing.